TCT presents Public Report, a look at the issues and events of importance to our viewing area. Now, here's your host.
And good day. Welcome to another segment of the Public Report. We have a great show planned for you, as we always. In our studios today, we have Phil Haberstroh. He's the Executive Director from Wellness Institute of Greater Buffalo. Is that it, Phil?
You got it, Larry.
Welcome to the show.
Right on the money.
Now, you're going to talk to us about active living and things of that nature, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, I'm a longtime Buffalonian. My family came to Buffalo in 1828.
Okay.
They were brewers and gunsmiths, and in my own time here in Buffalo, I'm the founder of the Wellness Institute. It's a nonprofit whose mission is to create healthier communities, and we're very involved with activities for young people, for work sites, and for our older population to try to help them be healthier.
Okay, so how are you going to help us to be more healthy?
Well, a couple of things I think we can talk about today, and as time will allow us. First off is the idea of what you need to do. And I have good news for your viewers in this respect, Larry. You know, it used to be that you thought you had to go to a gym and all those kinds of things, but the science has evolved and shown us that if you can, as an adult, I'm speaking about the adult population here, if you can aggregate about 30 minutes of physical activity, moderate physical activity, just something as simple, Larry, as walking on a daily basis, we would say about 5 days a week, that's enough to benefit your health. So the formula for your viewers is accumulate 30 minutes a day, most days of the week, and it can be moderate activity, and that's going to have positive benefits for your health. That's as opposed to, you know, all the things measuring your heart rate and lifting weights and all those things. They're all good things, but what we know is if we can make it simple, and that's that active living concept. The idea of integrating physical activity into your daily life.
Well, you know, January, everyone make these resolutions. And, of course, the resolution is I'm going to be active, I'm going to lose weight. Because I read somewhere that we gained like 7 pounds from Christmas to New Year, something of that nature. And so I'm sure everyone made this resolution about this is the time.
Well,
so tell us some of the things we can do to get it going.
That's easy to explain, though, Larry, because in your green room here, we want your viewers to know they had fruits and vegetables, but they had cookies and so on and so forth. Yeah, you know, absolutely. I mean, I think again the idea here is that people just need to recognize opportunities when they see them. To maybe park the car a little farther away, or if you're a bus rider, to, you know, walk to the next stop. These are all little kind of simple things. When you get in a building, even architects today are designing buildings where on the first or second floor you have easy access to the stairwells. They're not hidden anymore. So the concept or the idea again of allowing people to find simple ways, making the healthiest choice, the easier choice, really becomes one way to keep that resolution year-round. And that in itself, I think, I often tell people that, you know, look, you don't have to overdo it to get the benefits. Moderate physical activity will work for you.
And, you know, I like the word active living because this is a way of life. Now, Phil, you brought some things here with you today that would resist the ban. Talk to us about that and how can that be used?
Well, first off, we want your viewers to know if they call our office number at 851-4052, we will mail them out a couple of these goodies that I have today. This is something very popular. My good friend Rich Durwald over at the Erie County Department of Senior Services used these resistance band, and he's got programs out in senior centers all across the county. And what you can do with it, you can see, you can, you know, put it on, you can do simple exercises like this, you know. And we have a terrific little booklet that we will send people there that they can get to explains the activities and the things that are in there for them. So that's one resource. And if they have a DVD player at home, we have this excellent from the National Institutes of Health Go for Life DVD that we will mail out to people. So no excuses. You got the information. One of the other little fun pieces that I have here, this is from our Eat Well, Live Well Challenge, but it's a pedometer. And I know you told me you were using these before. And these simply just clip onto your belt, and they tell you the number of steps that you take on a day. I would say to people, you know, you'll hear 10,000 steps, but if you can get 4,000 to 5,000 steps in a day for that 5 days a week, you're going to, again, do positive things for your health. I have some information here for those that have children in school. A lot of concerns and issues around physical activity for our children. Not only the good physical education they get from their physical education teachers, but here's the Fitness for Kids campaign that one of the area foundations, the Independent Health Foundation, makes available to schools. So if you're a parent out there and you're watching and you want to get some additional activities going for your children, that's a great way to do it. And probably really exciting, Larry, this past year the Institute is in partnership with our local and wonderful Wegmans folks, and we've put together this terrific little booklet that has 12 different parks in it, and it tells you about all the different kinds of physical activities. So I know it's cold out, but snowshoeing and cross-country skiing and all those kinds of activities are some of the things that you can do in the parks. So those are all kind of little different resources. You can get the passport booklets at local Wegmans stores.
Okay.
And then there are some people, too, who have in their families special needs populations, and we have a brochure about making sure that physically challenged persons also can get information on how to stay physically active. So it's a really, today in the American society, there's a lot of good quality information for any population to help them get that active living into their lifestyle.
Okay, Phil, because you mentioned if someone called in, you're going to send them this. Now, you're going to send it to them free, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because, you know, an audience love free. Okay.
Non-profits, as you know, Larry, are into that picture.
So how are you funded?
Our funding comes from a variety of resources. For example, one of our supporters is the City of Buffalo Division of Senior Services. We work very closely with Director Doug Ruffin. This past fall, due to the funding that they were able to provide us, and with partnerships with other groups in the community, we were able to go out and we did our Golden Years wellness tours.
Okay.
And we were at 15 different sites in the city, promoting use of resistance bands, use of pedometers and that to the older adult population. We also talked to them about falls prevention. Physical activity is one of the best antidotes or preventive measures to reduce the risk of falls for our older adults. We also have contracts and programs. As I mentioned, we're supported by Wegmans to promote their Eat Well, Live Well Challenge, which is an employee wellness program. And of your viewers that are interested in having wellness programs at their work site, again, could call us at the 851-4052 number, and we can provide them information on employee wellness programs.
Okay, great. And those are free of charge also.
Now, yeah, pretty much.
Now, you know, Phil, with the computer age being what it is today, I mean, I don't see kids out playing as when I was coming up. And so exercise is a real big thing that a lot of our kids are not doing. And you said you do have something for the kids, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. I mentioned the fitness program, that the Fitness for Kids that comes from Independent Health and several other community agencies. Our own Wellness Institute's Russ Kingsbury has a program called Youth Advantage, where he does a combination of spiritual and character building with sport, and particularly in many of the churches. And he's been working recently over at the Salvation Army with that program. So, again, if some of your viewers have interest in learning about those things, they just give us a call or drop us an email, and we'll be happy to get that information to them. Clearly, one of the places all of your viewers should be looking is at their school's wellness policies. Every school district in the country is required to have a wellness policy, and that's one way parents can get involved to ensure that their children are getting the appropriate levels of physical activity in their schools.
What are some of the misconceptions concerning physical activity?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head earlier in the show when we talked about, and we said that, you know, that you got to go to the gym and all that. I love the gyms, and they're great places, but they're not for everybody. So one of the things that we want people to really understand is that just getting up and moving on a regular basis, it can be as little as 10 minutes a session. And that's really kind of a compact amount of time. Most of us can find a way to get 10 minutes in. As I said, add a little walking when you're going to the bus, add a little distance between when you're in the parking lot, and so on and so forth. Take the stairs. So that idea that active living can work for you is kind of new to people. I'll sit down and I'll ask people, I'll say, Larry, what do you do for physical activity? And you'll say, well, Phil, I don't do anything. I just walk my dog for an hour every day. Well, that puts a big smile on my face, because in your mind you're thinking you got to be pumping weight and doing all these other kinds of things, when in fact just moving on a regular basis is going to benefit your health.
Okay, and I love this band where you can just sit down at the computer and you can work it out right from there.
Yeah. And that's something about this. You can see it stuffs in your pocket. It goes wherever you want to go, and even when you're on the road and traveling and those kinds of things, it's a great little resource. As if you take the combination of the resistance bands, which strengthen and tone muscles, and the pedometer. I like to call this Phil's fitness kit,
okay.
Larry. That's the smallest, little unit that you can have, and the pedometers are available. You can certainly get them in sporting goods stores, but I would check with your health insurers or your employers sometimes. I knew the Catholic health system had been giving out pedometers to people to help them, again, to be more physically active.
And it's very important what we put in our body also, what we eat.
Absolutely. My friends in the Western New York Registered Dietitian Association would be very upset with me if I didn't do that. Yeah, registered dietitian, by the way, and RD is the gold standard in the field professionally. When you want to get counseling on that, you want to be sure that the person that you're talking to. And Buffalo and the Western New York community is blessed. Not only do we have a great regional dietetics association where the RDs meet on a regular basis, but we've got great people like Teresa Jackson at Wegmans, Diana Monaco at the FDA. Those are a couple of the people just off the top of my head that are outstanding in their field, and they're out there offering people quality and scientifically sound information on good nutrition.
We're coming down to the last minute of this segment, and I want to make sure, Phil, you leave with our audience what you want them to know.
Well, I think the key thing for the audience to pick up on, Larry, is that moderate physical activity works. Get that 30 minutes in a day. It can be as little as 10 minutes per bout of it that you do. You just get 30 in, 5 days a week. And that's going to get you on the path to a healthier and happier lifestyle. People can call us at 851-4052. We'll be happy to send you out the resistance band. I'm going to leave this for you, Larry.
Oh, okay. I'll take it. Right.
And if they're interested in worksite wellness, our Eat Well, Live Well Challenge is a great opportunity for employers to get involved with employee health.
And it doesn't make a difference what age group they're in?
Nope. Works for everybody. Fitness is a lifetime need for our bodies, so thanks, Larry.
Thank you so very much,
Pleasure.
Phil, and thank you for this. We're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with our next guest, Amy, while I work out. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Mission is a go. You ready to go home today?
Definitely.
Let's take a look.
This year, more than 27,000 children will be diagnosed with a life-threatening medical condition.
You are good to go.
Through the course of their treatment, many of them will miss school. Many of them will miss spending time with their family and friends.
So, have you made your decision yet?
Yeah, I think so.
And many will simply miss being a kid.
Here we go.
But you can lift their spirits and give them a special kind of hope. There are thousands of wishes waiting to come true. You can make it happen. Find out how today at wish.org.